out there, YouTube land. How are you guys doing? It's me, Art Del Cueto, once again, trying to bring you guys some updates and what's going on. I'm doing it once a week, but I might bump it up to more than once a week. It's just I've been swamped. I've been busy. I've been doing a lot of things. I'm not sure last week if I commented. I was out in D.C. I got to, be at the White House and meet with President Trump, which was a fantastic experience. Just, talking and catching up and explaining, some of the issues that are going on. And look, people say the border's secure, which it is. It's so much more secure than it was before. However, we need to continue to move forward and do the proper steps to remain secure, because it could all go away overnight. We saw what happened last election when all of a sudden President Biden took over and the numbers just boosted up. So we got to make sure that we're ahead of the game, be very vocal, make sure everything gets taken care of. I had the pleasure last night, of all nights, to speak in Tucson at a Turning Point USA event. There was over 700 people there, which was just fantastic to see. It was at St. Philip's Plaza. It happened to be right after the No Kings protest or whatever it may be. I call it the un-American protest, right? That's what it comes down to. People are protesting No Kings, but if Trump was a king, wouldn't the government be open? So that doesn't make any sense. Thankfully, agents have gotten paid. I do still feel though, because so the agents have gotten paid, which is fantastic. They need to. They're out there doing a thankless job. But we got to remember there's individuals within the offices, the MSS personnel that handles a lot of the paperwork. They're still caught, in a bind. They have not been paid yet. So hopefully this nightmare ends soon for them. And I really, really encourage everyone out there, especially in Arizona, email, call our senators, Gallegos and Kelly, and tell them, hey guys, let's get it going, right? We need this the right way, and we need to do the right thing moving forward, because it's the future of our country, and it takes all of us. And I learned that because, as I said yesterday, I spoke at Turning Point USA, and it was a fantastic event. Over 700 people. Don Fry was there. Who, if you guys don't know who Don Fry is, look him up. I happen to believe he's just the most awesome UFC fighter ever. He fought in UFC. He fought in Pride. He fought. He was in wrestling, and you guys know that I'm a wrestling fan. So it was just a pleasure being with Don Fry and doing this event. My throat's a little jacked up today, so that's why I sound a little rough. It's just the allergies are going around, so it's been rough for me. But it's a pleasure to be on here again on Five Strands with me, Art Del Cueto, and just tell people, hey, look, border's secure, but we have steps moving forward that we got to make sure it stays secure, or else it can all go away. I've been speaking to a couple of friends of mine that are out there on that line still, and they're saying that they still have some FTYs, which is failure to yields. So they just had one out in Sonoida's AOR. So the agents are still out there and trying to detain, deter, and arrest. And there's a lot of individuals that they still want to cause harm. They weren't going to stop. I know people say, oh, well, now that the border's secure, how is it? Well, it is secure, but the cartels, the smugglers, that doesn't mean they stop. They just come up with new ideas on how they're going to come across and what they're going to do. So they're still seeing that very much so, especially in Arizona. So, that's why it's important that we get the right laws, everything moving in the books. Last night when I spoke at Turning Point, I encouraged everybody there, and I said, you need to start paying attention to local elections. National elections are huge, but the way we really need to take care of our communities is you start paying attention to local elections, start paying attention who's running in those local spots, even down to school board. Look, even that's very, very important. And we've heard that the last election was the most important election of our lifetime. I believe that every election moving forward now is very important, as it always has been, because it's the future of the country, and it's the future of where we're going to go with this, what we're going to do. And unless we start paying attention, especially to local matters, this could all go away real quick. So I encourage everybody, pay attention, not just to national elections, but local elections. Get involved as much as possible. We need to. It was evident this last weekend. So this last weekend, and I was very vocal on my Instagram page. In fact, I was vocal on all my social medias that the local mayor in Tucson, so she went to this No Kings event, protest, whatever it may be, and she gave a speech. And part of her speech said, look, don't obey. She said, don't obey. She said, you need to not comply.
Have to fight tyranny is to not obey in advance. We will not comply. We will not obey. And right now.
What does that mean, right? I mean, to me, if you're the mayor, right, and you have a lot of individuals out there that are impressionable, and they don't think of the consequences. It's very trying times in our society, and you have a mayor saying that. I think that pretty much gives them the green light to be able to go out and do all kinds of messes. They're going to do a mess. They're going to act out. They're going to be violent. And why? Because she wanted to look cool on a stage and say, oh, don't comply, don't obey. Come on, man. We're a lot better than that. And for her to say that and people to applaud her and think it's great. Here's the irony of the whole thing, right? So she's sitting there saying don't comply, don't obey, putting not only the protesters' lives at risk, because you're going to have some protesters out there that can use her words and say, my mayor told me to go do this. But you're putting officers' lives at risk. Now, I know she has a strong dislike for immigration enforcement and immigration officers, ICE, Border Patrol, and all those entities, but she's still in charge to a point of Tucson Police Department. Now, keep in mind, she's doing this and jumping on that stage and saying these words, all the while she's got a security team of Tucson Police Department. Now, they were in plain clothes, but so you're out there inciting a riot, because there's no other way to look at it. You're inciting a riot, but you're doing it while utilizing taxpayer funds for your own security. I mean, that's as much as, you were sitting here going, no kings, but isn't that her creating her own empire on that end, or she's utilizing her power to do so? That's what's just amazing to me, that no one calls her out. And when somebody says something, everyone's quick to try to defend it or say, well, the government needs to reopen. That's the problem. Okay, the government needs to reopen. I don't disagree with that. It needs to be reopened. But you can't cater to lawlessness because one thing doesn't match with the other. And I think it was very irresponsible, and even more so on taxpayer-funded security for her. It was a big eye-opener for me to see something like that. I posted it. A lot of other people, have been posting it, reposting it, and that's what it takes. Somebody needs to call her and say, hey, what did you mean by this? Why would you say something like that? It just doesn't make sense. She represents, keep in mind, and I know some people are not going to like what I got to say. She's the mayor of Tucson, right? So there's people on both sides of the aisle, on the right and the left. Now, she won. She's the mayor. Okay. But she represents both sides. And that's what it comes down to. And I think that's where it differs when we look at President Trump. President Trump, his focus is on making sure that America is in the right direction. Obviously, we all know the slogan, right? MAGA. Make America great. It isn't make the Republicans great. It isn't, don't make the Democrats great. It's make America great. At the end of the day, we have people from both sides of the aisle here, and I think we need to continue to spread the word, continue to tell them, look, these are the facts. This is the reality of what's happening. That's why I'm here. We need to tell them the truth of what's happening on our nation's borders and explain to people, look, we're better, but the job ain't done. That's the whole reason, for the Turning Point USA event last night. Tell people we still need to continue to move forward and get things done better. We can't just, lay back, cross our fingers and cross our arms and say, okay, well, we're just going to wait it out. No, we need to keep moving forward and try to get things done right. So on that note, like I said, I'm thinking about shooting maybe 2 a week. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. Send me your info. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on X. Follow me on Facebook. And of course, subscribe to this channel and let's make this channel grow. It's Five Strands with Art Del Cueto, and we want to get the word out. We want to get, and I'll tell you what, I think moving forward now, where the position I'm in that really helps is I could just expand. I did something really silly, and some of you guys are going to laugh, but I went to ChatGPT and I typed in my name just to see what was going on. And they said that in my new role, and some of you are aware, I'm working for the Federation for American Immigration Reform. In my new role, I'm able to expand from just bargaining rights to rights all around, to agents, the immigration debate. It expands everything, and I'm able to keep in touch with more people and just spread the message more, because the message needs to be spread. The more the merrier is what I say. I'm not a hater. Don't you be a hater. Go out there and make sure that you subscribe, share the channel. Make sure you utilize all your tools at your disposal to make sure that America is informed. Make sure that the rights of the agents and all law enforcement truly are heard and taken care of, because there's a lot of things moving forward that we need to take care of. We're in a great opportunity with a fantastic administration that wants to take care of law enforcement, wants to take care of agents. Well, you know what? Let's do so by making sure at the same time that the agents have the right tools if they're at their disposal. I understand there's more vehicles out there now, which is a great thing. Make sure that we continue to grow, we continue to do that, and all the needs of law enforcement throughout the country are met, especially Border Patrol, especially ICE. Look, you're seeing these raids, and I kind of talked about it last night at Turning Point. I said, you're seeing a lot of raids, and they're attacking ICE and immigration, saying, well, who are they arresting now? Do they have a criminal background? This is what it comes down to. If you're illegally in the country, then I'm sorry, that's a criminal act, and you need to be detained. But why is it so widespread? The truth of the matter is unfortunately, we have a lot of individuals, when they get arrested, that they're very quick to point the finger at their own relatives or at their own places of work. Agents can't ignore that, so they have to move forward with investigations. That's why you're seeing even more detentions and arrests throughout different parts of the country. A lot of it is tips from the people that they're arresting themselves. So what do you call them? Snitches. So there's a lot of snitching going on, and it can't be ignored, rightfully so. These people need to be detained, arrested, and at the end, they're getting what they wanted to. They came in the millions and asked for asylum. Well, they're getting detained. They're talking to the judge. It's just showing that they don't have a real asylum claim, and then they're getting deported. That is due process. That's the way the laws work. That's the way it should be. So on that note, thanks, and a big shout out to all the Border Patrol agents. I know you guys are doing a lot of work with interior enforcement. Sometimes you hear more of what ICE is doing, but I know that a lot of it is coming from the Border Patrol agents. I know the special operation teams are out there. I'm in contact with, I got friends in BORTAC, and I know they're doing a thankless job themselves out there, putting their lives at risk and in danger. And I encourage other law enforcement. Look, if you're seeing what's happening, I know it's difficult because your bosses may be giving you, a different agenda, but we all need to work together to do the right thing. Be vocal with your own administration and say, look, it's hard for us as police officers to be in these places, see agents, federal agents get attacked, and us not being able to assist even further. So be very vocal on that end as well. Watch each other's six, take care of each other. There's trying times out there. Shout out to, look at that, Ultra Free. Look him up. It's a friend of mine. He's got those products, as well as, I got these t-shirts. I'm not selling. I'm not out there, trying to push any agenda, because that's not what it's about. But if you guys can follow Ultra Free, it's a fantastic friend of mine that has real cool products out there. I don't make money off of it. Again, it's follow him, take care of him. These shirts are mine. So you know what I mean? I'm handling shirts like this, but I'm not putting them out on a website. I'm not selling stuff. That's not what it's about. This channel is about making sure that everyone's voices are heard. Agents' voices, of course, is a big deal to me, that they're heard and people hear what's going on, the truth about the border. If you guys have any stories, if you have anything that you yourselves want or changes you want done, hey, send me a message. I do this out of my own pocket. I'm doing this, on my own time, because I think it's important. I want to continue to make sure that all voices are heard within law enforcement, because I don't think we have enough of a push out there that gets the messages and everything out. So on that note, till next time, stay safe and God bless.